Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight I'm here to bring you an update on SelfTaught Beauty. I had some thoughts, so if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so if you're clicking on this video, you are probably well aware of Mandy, who runs the channel SelfTaught Beauty. I've done a handful of videos on her on my channel, just providing some commentary and opinions as an outsider looking in on her situation, how she runs her channel, and the things that she has done online. There was another channel by the name of Not So Evil Stepmother. Her name is Alex, and she stepped up to the plate, decided that she wanted to help Mandy, you know, find resources and help her sort of get out of the situation that she's currently in. Things took a nosedive in between Alex and Mandy, and things sort of imploded. In the center of all of this, there has been some, I need to figure out how to word this. There has been a lot of discussion for alleged substances use by Mandy, and this is sort of the root of her issues. There's a lot of Sadfishing being done on her channel, where everything for the last 2 years has been hashtag eviction, hashtagging homeless. The problem is that when resources are presented to Mandy, she doesn't want resources, she wants money. And she doesn't want, based on my opinion, she doesn't want all donations. She wants things that have a monetary value. And that was very apparent to me from the first time that I looked at her content. This has continued over the last 2 years. She has done absolutely nothing to help herself get out of her situation. She relies heavily upon her subscribers' donations in order to float her way. And Alex was going to be the second person to step up to the plate and say, I'm going to help you get out of this situation. However, once the allegations came forward and Alex learned a little bit more about what was the root of the issue, Mandy ran, and she said that Alex was trying to run her life. It was Alex was a wolf, and there were a lot of things going back and forth. So I'm going to go through some of my points of the last couple of weeks of things that have unfolded, and then we're going to react to the video that Mandy just put out 21 hours ago called Finding a Home. I had quite a few thoughts about this video specifically. I already watched it one time, but to bring you guys up to speed, Mandy put out a video, I forget the date, I'll try to put the date on the screen here. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. It was a hot mess, in my opinion. She recorded a phone call with her ex-husband, who she says is a bad guy. Alex says is not a bad guy based on her conversations. At the end of the day, nobody knows what this guy really is, but I can give you my opinion based on what I've seen. That video that had that conversation in it was quickly deleted from Mandy because she definitely realized how messy it was, and the fact that there were things mentioned in that video that weren't supposed to be online, but then they were online, and things being exploited for sympathy. It was a whole mess. So that video got deleted, and then 6 days ago she came out with a video saying let's talk, and I want to go through some of the key points that I took away from that video, and then we will actually react to the Finding a Home video that was published 21 hours ago. So in the Let's Talk video from 6 days ago, she says that her video was done in a rush. She recorded it without watching Alex's video, and I don't understand how you can just storm onto your platform and actually just go off on someone without even watching their video. There is no way that I would come to you guys and say, oh my God, this video was made about me, but I didn't watch it. I would at least want to hear what the person said with my own 2 ears. And if I don't want to watch it, then I'm not going to address it. So opening up, she was pointing out the obvious. Second, she said that she was getting a lot of hate comments. Let's unpack hate comments for a second. Most of the hate comments that Mandy is tagging as such are just people that are skeptical, people that are concerned about the legitimacy of her story, people that are encouraging her to help herself before she comes to her subscribers, asking for help all of the time. And she categorizes all of those people as hate watchers, haters, trolls. You know, unless you are telling her how wonderful she is or asking her how you can send a monetary donation, then you are a hater. And I have seen this time and time again from her. She just doesn't, she will not recognize the difference between people that are skeptical and people that are actually being mean, because I'm sure that she gets a lot of those comments that are just mean. However, people are upset about this because from a lot of the general consensus, she is explaining being in a tough situation for money and views on YouTube. That is not what YouTube is for. In this video, she also focused heavily on her husband and tagging him with being a horrible person, putting all of his dirty laundry out onto YouTube, even though he is not a public figure. She has said for a long time that she wouldn't talk about her husband because he wasn't there to defend himself. However, in this video, she threw all of those rules straight out the door and put all of his shit on blast, talking about his history with his own substances, how bad of a husband he was. She also shows these text messages, and I'll try to put a screen grab right here. She talks about these text messages as if he's the worst person ever, but I paused to read these messages, and to me, it was a man that was cussing because he is probably very frustrated with this entire situation. However, it was also, in my opinion, it was someone who still cared about his wife. So I don't think that showing those really proved her case that he's some big bad monster either. She then goes into detail about her friend Lisa, and I found this very interesting. One of the topics of discussion has been this breach of trust charge. And the way that Mandy explained this to her audience was that she and her friend Lisa, who knows who Lisa is, it doesn't really matter, but she and her friend Lisa needed money, so they went to a pawn shop, pawned off a ring. Lisa didn't have an ID, Mandy did, so Mandy gave her ID. They pawned the ring, got the money. Lisa wanted the ring back, so she went back to the pawn shop, and since it was under Mandy's license, she filed charges against Mandy. That makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. I want to discuss breach of trust for a second. Now, the way that Alex described this was that the breach of trust charge was because of her not being a very good person when she was allegedly working at a nursing home years ago. So you guys remember the Lisa story, and then remember the working in a nursing home and not being a very good person while on the clock there. And you guys tell me what you think. Breach of trust, an act of a trustee that violates the trustee's duties or the terms of a trust. A breach of trust need not be intentional or malicious. It can be due to carelessness or negligence. So to me, if I am looking at that definition, I do not see how that would tie back to someone going to a pawn shop and saying, hey, I was here with my friend, I want my ring back. Oh, it wasn't under my ID, so I'm going to file charges against my friend. That makes absolutely no sense to me. In fact, it does match up perfectly with her taking something that doesn't belong to her while she was working at retirement center or nursing home or whatever establishment she was working at. I also want to talk really quickly before I close out my thoughts on the breach of trust thing, because if you guys remember, Mandy has also said that she works with an older lady in her neighborhood. You know, she continues to say that YouTube is her only income. That's the only money that she sees every month. That's why the AdSense thing was such a big deal to her when AdSense was holding her payment which still hasn't been verified. So the whole breach of trust thing, I do find that interesting when it ties back to now her saying that YouTube is her only income, but then she works with this older lady that she's worked with for years. You know, in my opinion, this entire situation is such a clusterfuck of lies at this point. Once you start lying, I've said this many times before, once you start lying, it is so hard to keep up with your lies. Then if you were just honest from the jump, it's so easy to remember what the truth is because it's things that actually happened. They're, you know, front and center in your brain because it's what actually happened. It is so hard to track lies, and your subscribers will call you out for this. If you start lying, it is very, very hard to not get called out on the internet because your content and what comes out of your own mouth speaks for itself. I also wanted to point out that she gets very mad at people who look at her past, people that bring up her past. The whole thing is that Mandy has been someone who has utilized her past to her advantage. So she will insert in parts of her past and her past life when it benefits her, but then she gets upset when subscribers mention it to her. I just find that very interesting. It's obviously very hypocritical to sprinkle in parts of your personal life and your past and then get upset when people call something into question. You're using it for your monetary gain and then getting upset with people when they have questions about it. She also did put her son's medical information in this video, which I found very distasteful since she has always gotten up on her soapbox and said that no one talks about her boys, even though they're grown men, they're not boys. You know, you have preached to so many people on the internet to not ever mention your sons, and then here you are using this as a sympathy ploy to show people, oh, look at what the trolls have done. You know, based on my opinion, I don't necessarily believe that it's always the troll's fault. I do believe that being in certain living conditions and living situations can cause a whole lot of stress to someone as well. So I don't necessarily think that everything can just be pinned on the internet, but what else would we expect? The other thing that made no sense in this video was the fact that for the longest time, Mandy has always said on her channel that substances were never part of her journey. She has always been very loud and proud about that and told people it's not part of my journey, it's not part of my journey. In this video, she outright says that it is in fact part of her journey. She does go into detail. I'm not going to rehash what she said, but it's just the fact that it is an outright lie. So all of the times that you said it's not part of my journey, now you're saying it's part of my journey. So people are just supposed to believe the nonsense until you tell them otherwise. But then nobody's allowed to call her a liar. It's fucking insane, you guys. In the video that she had deleted, she also made it a point to let everybody know that she allegedly has cancer. That is a massive, massive piece of information to put onto your subscribers in a video. Honestly, I didn't believe it one bit. Sorry, not sorry. Someone who has been proven to be a liar, I don't believe things like this when they are just, you know, dropped into a video with no context. So she put that in the deleted video, and then the 2 subsequent videos that she has put out since then, not a word about it. There's nothing mentioned. If she is in fact being dishonest about this part, which in my opinion, I believe that she is, to lie about a diagnosis like that is the most disgusting thing that I can think of a YouTuber doing on this platform. That is beyond bottom of the barrel. That is beyond just a sick monster. Now, if you are going through something like this, then there should be more context provided. And if you're not going to provide that context and talk about it with your subscribers, then don't mention it at all. There are so many people who either have come across her channel, know of her channel, watch this video, you know, whatever, that have been directly or indirectly affected by cancer. I am one of them. And for anyone to come out and use that as a way to get sympathy, views, attention, money is outright disgusting. Now, I do also want to say that all of Mandy's problems could have gone away if she would have just taken a hair follicle test. Alex came to her and said, look, we had our falling out, but if you take a hair follicle test and prove everyone wrong, then I will give you the donation money and we'll cut ties and walk away from this. If Mandy was so sure of what she was doing and, you know, the fact that this wasn't part of her current journey, then she could have taken Alex's offer. And, you know, she said, she was like, well, at first I was going to do it and let Alex keep the donations, and then it would just be another way for Alex to be controlling my life. And, you know, that is such a fucking cop-out. That is such a cop-out. If you are so sure of what you're doing, take the test. It would shut everyone on the internet up. All of the detractors, all of the people who are questioning everything. She could have come to her platform and said, y'all are wrong. I'm right. I've been being honest. Now shut the hell up. But the opposite side of the coin is that she wouldn't pass, and she knows she wouldn't pass. So therefore, she shuts Alex out and continues trucking right along with her sad fishing and her nonsense on her channel. I really wanted to mention this really quickly because it just really made me chuckle. When it comes to making money on social media, get your coin. Like, as long as you're doing it in a legitimate, ethical way, get your coin, you know, whatever. But Mandy is charging for personalized messages. I don't know if this is like a, you know, a white label cameo that she's doing. I don't know what kind of messages she is personalizing. But honestly, this is just comical to me. I said for a long time, if Mandy wanted to be upfront and honest with her audience, she could make decent money on YouTube. She could share, you know, her journey of how I said this on my very first video that I did about her. This is what I'm doing to better my quality of life. I'm bringing you guys along with me to share my struggles, my ups, my downs, the whole 9 yards. But the fact that there have been so many inconsistencies and proven lies surrounding her stories and her channel, her trust has been depleted with a lot of her audience. So I guess, I don't know if the personalized message thing is something new. Don't know, but it really made me laugh. The other thing that she claimed is that, you know, all of this should have been, Alex should have never come out with videos. This should have all been handled offline. The issue is that Alex did try to contact Mandy and she was ignored. So the problem is that when you try to have a conversation with a YouTuber and you are ignored, you have every right to come to your platform and talk about said issues, in my personal opinion. In this video, it was deflection all the way through. You know, honestly, this video, if you are trying to be a deflection artist, you can just go ahead and watch this video as part of your guide. It was deflecting all the way through. It was placing blame on everyone else in her life except for her. And no important questions were addressed at all. Surprise, surprise. This is something that Mandy has a very predictable pattern of doing, where she will come out with a video saying a whole lot of nothing, not addressing any of the important questions, and placing blame on everyone else, whether it's the trolls, the haters, other people in her life. It's never her and what she's doing. It's their fault, and I need you guys to help me. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that she said the shed was condemned, and the date on the notice was April 5th. if she is being truthful with her 3-day notice, that means that she would have had to vacate the shed by April 8th. Today is April 16th. She has not vacated the shed. And this video, looking for a home, it'll have a little more information, but she does still have the shed. In fact, she's filming at the shed in this video that we're about to watch. So as far as the 3-day notice thing, I think that's absolute nonsense. I really don't see how someone would come and say, you literally have 3 days to vacate. I believe that she puts out these deadlines in order to hurry her donations and get them faster. I have heard from some people that live in her county stating that if you are going to force someone to vacate because a structure is condemned, it's a 90-day notice. So I don't know where the 3 days came from. In my opinion, I do believe that she just made that up in order to put a tighter timeline on when she had to go. And the last thing that she said about this hair follicle test is that she's going to find a way, even if it's in a couple of months, to pay for the tests for herself. You know, honestly, I think that this is just absolute BS, if you ask me. If it all goes back to, if you're confident in what you're doing, you would, you know, even if you wanted to make a point, you could say, I'm going to do the test to prove everyone wrong. I don't need your donations. And I'm going to take the test so that I can have that and be able to show people that I'm actually being honest. One of the comments that was under this video is very telling of how naive her audience is. You guys, her subscribers are eating this up. I truly don't believe that her subscribers, the ones that are still sticking by her, they will never open their eyes. And these are people, in my opinion, who do not have critical thinking skills, because everything that has come out about this woman and what she's doing on her YouTube channel, if people are still eating it up at this point, I do not feel bad if they get taken advantage of and send money and it doesn't go where it should be going. So someone said, God bless you and your boys. Your personal life is none of our business. I'm waiting for your next BoxyCharm spoiler. As far as personal life not being anyone's business on the internet, you put your shit out on YouTube, it is people's business. Now, I do believe that there is a fine line of, you know, what should be brought to YouTube and what shouldn't be. That's kind of a whole different conversation for a whole different day. But you are monetizing your struggles. You are monetizing your personal issues and putting them online and expecting sympathy in the form of monetary donations. So that being said, the shit is open for commentary, period.
Everybody's doing well. What a year 2021 has been already. So I wanted to do a small update. I've had a bunch of people reach out, so I wanted to give y'all a small update. I'm back at the shed today. I've actually been back and forth between here and a friend's house. I'm exhausted. I have lived at place after place after place after place after place. Finally found one. I never thought it would be this hard to find a place. Now, this place is not around here. It's about 3 miles out of Portsmouth, but it's in the middle of nowhere. If I'm here, or if I'm at my friends, I feel like I've been so depressed because of all this stuff going on, especially with Alex, and just a lot of hate. I mean, there was stuff put online. I never intended for it to be online. Never did want it to be online, but it reached there, and I hope I was very clear in that video, and everybody understands where I'm coming from.
I'm so tired of her telling everyone that they're just hating. It is so exhausting. It is so exhausting for someone to literally monetize and exploit the hashtag homeless eviction to expose things in every single life update that she does, and then she wants to say that people are hating on her. I do believe that there might be a couple out there that are actually hating on her. However, most people are just calling out her bullshit. As far as her saying that there are things online that shouldn't have been online, oh, you mean like you slipping in that you have cancer allegedly? Come on. You mean like you putting your son's medical information out onto your own channel? monetizing your entire life struggles and allowing your subscribers to float you by sending money to your PayPal and your Cash App, not allowing your own content to pay your, to pay your way. She's not working. She has so much free time where she could be making consistent content and allowing her content to carry her instead of taking money from her subscribers, who are half of them probably in desperate financial need themselves.
There's a lot of stuff that is still private. I want to spread a little bit of positivity.
Stuff that's still private. This woman has put everything on YouTube.
I can't wait to get in a place. Guys, you have no idea. I literally sit here and dream about how it's going to feel again to be in a place where I don't have to charge a battery to turn a light on, or not being able to do my makeup, period. Or if I'm being lazy and I don't charge up my lights, then there's no lights, period. Being in the dark all the time, have no windows. It's seriously been it's been very stressful. I've had a lot of people that has turned their backs on me from Alex's video, and I understand. I'm just grateful to have gotten to share a little piece of my life for whatever amount of time it was. I have been praying to be in a place before my birthday, which is April 20th. Everybody probably already knows that.
All of this, people turning their backs on her and all of this kind of stuff that she wants to say, none of that would have happened if she would have just done a follicle test. Do the test, show the results. You know that your shit is clean, so why not come to your platform and say so? Prove all of the naysayers wrong. It would have taken one action to prove all of the naysayers wrong. And you could have kept making content, and everyone that had comments, you could have sent the link to that video and kept it moving.
I can't tell you if it's going to happen. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed, and I'm praying every night. I still got my prayer journal. I pray for everybody that I write down in that journal. But I did want to touch base with you guys. I wanted to thank a couple of people, because after the videos come out, they did reach out to me and show me support and love. Rachel, happy birthday, girl. I know your birthday's already over. Her birthday was April 10th, but she remembered my birthday, and she reached out to me. I'm just so grateful for people like that actually remember. And sometimes I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my God, how did somebody actually remember? She really...
Okay, I don't care about her giving happy birthday to people.
Thank you so much. Did a trailer. It's been about a week and a half, but this is the place I'm talking about. It is about 3 miles out of Portsmouth. I'm not going to say what road or anything it's on, but it's back in the middle of nowhere. It's absolutely perfect. Now,
so she's not going to say what road it's on, but it's 3 miles away from where she currently is. It would not take much for someone to be able to find where this is. She literally shows the road. She shows this little fence that's on the side of the road. This it looks like a dark red house on the right-hand side. If you don't want your shit to be out on YouTube, then stop showing the street that it's on.
Back in the middle of nowhere. It's absolutely perfect. Now, it's a little bit older trailer, and it does need some work done to it. So I went to Community Action, and they have this new program where they'll pay the security deposit and first month's rent. Guys, this guy only wants $350 a month for this trailer, and for the security deposit, he's going to let me clean it up. So I had this paper to have him fill out, and I took it back into Community Action. Lo and behold, they said it would take 2 to 3 weeks for them to mail him a check. I didn't know this. I thought that they go ahead and have him pick it up, or they went ahead and just mailed it out to him. So I ended up having to go meet with the guy again. I explained this to him because he seems like one of those guys that's kind of impatient.
So who knows if she even went to this community action place, allegedly. I have no clue. None of us were there with her. But all she does is show a piece of paper with their logo and an application. So... fine. Let's just say that she did go here. She's setting up this timeline of 2 to 3 weeks. In my opinion, this is again in order to put a tight timeline for people to help her with the first month's rent. Or this, she said that the security deposit is covered or whatever. Guy is telling her if someone else comes and has the money available, then he's going to rent to them, which is what anyone would do if they're renting a place. But her sharing all of this information, in my opinion, is to put a shorter timeline to drum up some extra donations so that her subscribers feel like they're helping her get into this trailer. I realize that Mandy's situation is very negative and it's very hard and very bad, and I completely understand that. However, the fact that she has collected money from YouTube, money from this old lady that she helps and has said many times that she helps, stimulus money that she has collected. Where's all the stimulus money? $350 isn't that much money when you consider that you're getting stimulus for you, your 2 sons, and allegedly your husband. Where's all that money gone? Where did it go?
I was just heartbroken after I found this out. And he looked at me and he said, well, ma'am, he said, 2 to 3 weeks is kind of a long wait. And, if somebody does happen to come by and has the money to rent this place, I'm going to have to go ahead and go with them. And I understand that. I completely understand that. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And if you guys would say some prayers for me, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, guys, because this place is absolutely perfect. And it's right there in my price range. I've looked at so many places, but this one's me. This one's me. And I'm hopefully I do end up getting this place and we'll be filming with lights on in a new room and I can finally move forward. It's been so stressful and I've looked at place after place. Either something's promised out or something is just not what it is or they're wanting too much. I can't afford. I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but have you ever sat and remembered that feeling of being a kid where you had no worries and you'd go outside and play? You didn't care about who was looking at you when you were playing and Santa was still real. I often go back to those times and wish I could feel like a kid again.
I'm sorry, like her sob story of how it's been so stressful. She literally had a picture perfect opportunity presented to her from Alex. And once things started to come out and Alex came to her and said, look, this is what I'm hearing. This is what we need to do. Let's take some actions to make sure that you're utilizing all of the resources and not just the money. Things went south. And here we are. Like, this is absolutely insane, and her subscribers are eating it up. The other thing that I'll say is $350 a month for rent is affordable to, most people. That is the price that a lot of people would pay to rent a bedroom in someone's house, depending on where you live. So $350 is fair. If it's an entire trailer, I think that that's a good price, but it could just be the prices that I'm used to where I live. They're astronomical, but either way, if it's 3 miles away from where she is now, she moves into this trailer. How are you going to move into a trailer and not have a job? How are you going to get to a job? Or is this going to be just another recipe to rely on donations in order to pay your rent? To me, that is not someone who wants to better their situation. How are you going to get to work if you have no car? She would have had a car if she would have continued to work with Alex. This is asinine behavior. I'm sorry. Many of her longtime subscribers are just eating it up like it's going out of style. Things will get better. Don't focus on the hate. You deserve to get that place. Prayers. Mandy, I just want to say I would never turn my back on you. I believe you, and I know God will take care of. I'm so happy to hear you might have a home. Many prayers. People are eating it up, you guys. Like, I don't know. If people are naive and this gullible at this point, I cannot help them. It is just crazy to me that everything that has unfolded since I have started to cover SelfTaught Beauty is beyond what I could even imagine. When I heard that Alex was going to try to help Mandy, I said, I commend her, but we've gone down this road before where she has been offered help and resources and she wants to take the money and that's all that she wants. She's proven herself, but maybe she'll be different this time. And damn it, if she didn't do the same thing over again. The last thing I want to talk about, and even though it's the last, it's definitely the most important, at least in my eyes, is that in this video, she does not discuss her animals. Not one time. She didn't say where her animals had been the past couple of weeks when she's been staying with a friend. Are the animals just locked in a shed all day? I hope not, because that is definitely not in the best interest of the animal to be locked in a shed all day. A lot of people have gotten upset with me because I shared my opinion on the animals and I didn't call animal control. Well, what you guys don't know is that shortly after Mandy tried to say that I was the one that called animal control, I decided that anything that I was going to do would not be brought to my channel. And that's the way that I'm going to keep it. But I will say, I don't believe that Mandy is someone that cares about her animals. I believe that she uses them as a self-soothing sort of tool. I don't think that she truly cares for their, long-term health or longevity or overall welfare. I think that they are there to benefit her and benefit her only. We have gone through this before. She does not have the financial resources or the physical space to home a dog and multiple cats. We have seen before that she let all her cats out and only found 3 when she lost her last house. This is not someone who should be responsible for an animal's well-being or their nutrition or their health or their vet care, or anything else for that matter. To be really honest, if she gets this trailer, I hope that they don't accept animals. And I hope that she is forced to rehome her animals, because those animals deserve so much more than what Mandy is giving them. And I want to finish this out by telling you guys my current situation with Alex, Not So Evil Stepmother. She and I definitely started on opposite sides of the road when it came to Self-Taught Beauty. By the end of it, we were on the same side of the road. We've had many conversations offline, and I read one of her emails, one exchange back and forth to you guys, and we had subsequent exchanges after that. And there's been some people like, oh, well, why aren't you reading the other emails? Why don't you read the other emails? It's plain and simple. Alex asked me not to, and I am doing as she wishes. I'm not going to read any of our other exchanges because she asked me not to. And as common decency, that's all that I can do, is to respect what she's asking me not to do. So therefore, all of our other conversations will be kept offline, and we have a common respect for each other. I wish her nothing but the best, just as I have this entire time. She does the same for me. And at the end of the day, her heart was in the right place. And unfortunately, she is just another casualty of Mandy and her endless nonsense and manipulation. So either way, I was going to close out this video by saying that I'm not going to be talking about Mandy, or this would be my final video of Mandy for now, but I'm not going to say that because I have a feeling that something very interesting is going to happen here, and I don't know what it is, but I also don't want to put myself in a box and be one of those people that says this is my final video on XYZ and then make 8,000 other videos following that, because that just makes you look like a clown. So this is not my final video on her. However, I will be sitting back and watching this situation, and if something new and interesting happens, I will cover it. I'm not going to come here and continue to rehash the fact that she's sadfishing, manipulating, not taking care of her animals, in my opinion, and so on and so forth. Not doing anything to help her own situation and relying heavily on her subscribers to float her way. So either way, if something new happens, I will give my commentary on it. If nothing new happens, then I won't give my commentary on it. But for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.